Welcome back to In La Cocina, in the kitchen. We hope you're having a great day. We are with Mario De Leon from De Leon's Foods. We're talking about their big chili roasting that's going on. It's been going on really for the last couple of weeks now. We want to talk about these hatch chilies a little bit first. What makes them so special, Mario?
Well, one thing, they come out of New Mexico. And it's something that's in the ground that it makes them so good.
I know, and it's kind of like a secret, isn't it? Over there,
yes.
No one will reveal what it's all about in hatch, but it gives us this distinct flavor that's just so good. Now, as far as the roasting process goes, you guys have the big roaster that you bring out. Let's take people through this thing if they've never seen it, because this is a really cool thing. We got Anthony from De Leon's. He's going to help us out. And these things, they actually come in this big giant sack right here, right?
And most of the time when you
and they
check
will
tell you what grower it is, so they will tell you who it is.
So let's go through the process. So basically, you get them in these gigantic sacks, and you throw them into the roaster.
So
and this is a special kind of chili roaster, right?
Yes, this is special, and they even the roaster came from New Mexico. So.
And this isn't something you can buy like at Home Depot.
No, you cannot buy that stuff in here. That's correct.
Especially from Hatch. So, and how heavy are these bags, man?
These are 30 pounds.
So
and people that buy 2-3 pounds. I mean, 2-3 bags at a time. So
you need some help here. you know. Sometimes, we got to help out, There we go, baby. All right. This is heavy bags, man. All right, so you close this puppy up. And how long does it actually take to roast?
3 and 4 minutes.
So it's not a real long process.
No, it's not a real long process.
And how long do you guys actually keep the chili peppers around the store? I mean, the hatch at least.
Well, this year we we order like triple the order this year.
Compare because it was so popular.
Yeah, and usually we're gonna do it this weekend and the following weekend.
Yeah.
But sometimes we don't even last.
It doesn't
2
last
days because it all depends, how fast the people, and people that be calling all this past week. Hey, can I buy a sack at a time, or 2 sacks, or 3 sacks at a time?
Yeah, and by the time this show actually airs, heck, they may be gone because I mean the main goal here was just to show kind of how the process works.
That's correct.
And the thing about the hatches, I mean, if you had to compare them closely to something, maybe the Anaheim pepper would be the closest thing as far as.
Well, it looks the same, but the flavor.
But the flavor is just not the same.
It's not the
same.
So
as far as looks, so you folks that are familiar with the Anaheim pepper, it kind of looks the same, but that hatch just has that
little tag is gonna tell you,
What's the key about roasting the chilies? You just want to get them blackened just a little bit?
Yeah, what happens when you roast them is you just want to take the skin off. And that way when you will eat the inside, really. But the skin is so thin that you won't even notice it. And after we get those, you roast them, you put them in a plastic bag, and as soon as you put them in the plastic bag, they're going to start losing all the skin off. And then you can just take them home and just take the skin off, and that will be really, really easy.
And the thing about the skin is you can peel a little bit off, but you keep a little bit on to keep that earthy,
and
that smoky feel to it.
Flavor,
yeah, the smoky flavor is what really makes it, because you can make salsa verde with it. Yeah. You could do all sorts of things.
You can hear the flames right there.
I know, isn't that? That's cool. You can't have any amateurs operating this thing, can you? Check that out, folks. All right, so there you go, folks. If you've never seen it, these are how the chili peppers are roasted in this big roaster, 3 or 4 minutes. It gets nice and smoky. Peel them off a little bit. You keep some of them on there for that smoky flavor. Mario, we appreciate you showing us this, man. Really cool thing. By now, you ain't getting none of these at De Leon's because they're all gone. So you're gonna have to wait till next year. Hatch, New Mexico, these are where they're from. Coming up next on In the Kitchen, we're gonna head to Coeur d'Alene to the cookwithus.com kitchen. We've got a wonderful paella that I'm cooking up along with Lynn Wiedemann. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Stick around.
In the Kitchen is brought to you by the Hispanic Food Network. Visit our website at www.hispanicfoodnetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Carla from Azteca, and this is your Margarita Minute.
Your Margarita Minute has been brought to you by Azteca Mexican Grill. Welcome to family.
Today we're going to make a Cazadores mango margarita. It's one of my personal favorites. We're going to take fresh lemon, lime, and orange juice with triple sec. Add Cazadores tequila. We like to use Cazadores, 100% agave. Mango puree. We're gonna blend that up. It's gonna come out beautifully fresh looking. And we're gonna add a splash of Cointreau. Enjoy.
Si, senor. Join us at any of our 3 Spokane Aztecas, downtown, Spokane Valley, and North Point Azteca.
I'm Carla, and this has been your Margarita Minute.
Come to Azteca tonight.
Welcome back to In La Cocina, in the kitchen. I'm your host, Mike Gonzalez. I've got Lynn Wiedemann with me with Cook With Us, and we are back in the cookwithus.com kitchen. This is where we develop all the cool recipes that you see every weekend here on In La Cocina. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you,
Very
Mike.
excited to actually, get the person behind Cook With Us. So this is a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, this is fun.
Let's, before we get into this wonderful paella dish that we're going to cook for you, let's talk about Cook With Us a little bit, because
Okay,
you guys are a
okay.
school, you got a website.
Right,
Tell us a
right.
little bit about what you guys are all about.
Well, Cook With Us has it's been growing since 2004. We started with a cooking school in Mexico. And at this point now, what we're doing is blogging about food, developing recipes, and giving cooking classes. So kind of trying to hit it on all sides. So
Very cool.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
do classes at the Kitchen Engine. We'll talk a little bit about that later. And they're also at cookwithus.com.
Right,
And
right.
we've got a link on our website, HispanicFoodNetwork.com. So you've got plenty of access to all their wonderful recipes. All right, so let's get into this paella. I love paella because it's got so many awesome little ingredients
yeah,
here.
it's wonderful.
Let's first talk about, we were talking about before we came on air, that there's a couple of key ingredients, right, to
right.
the paella?
The 2 key ingredients would be the saffron, and that is right here. And this is a saffron from Spain, which is just so fragrant and just wonderful. So that gives it a really distinct flavor. The other spice that's really, really important is the
paprika.
Yeah, it's smoked. So this is
It's kind
from
of got
Spain.
that earthy
Yeah,
type
really,
feel to
really
it.
good.
I know, it smells so good.
So these 2 things I would say are most important ingredients to give it its distinction.
Let's run through the ingredients
All
real
right,
quick.
all right. Onions, garlic, parsley, and of course, very fresh rosemary. This is right from our garden.
Oh,
and
that's so nice.
So that's good. And then we
Of
have
course,
all the,
we have the staples here. You got
yeah, I mean, this is,
your camarones,
right,
meat,
chorizo,
oh,
pen-coat
the
mussels,
mussels right
and
here.
a beautiful chicken. And you want to use skin on with your chicken. I mean, if you use a boneless chicken breast, you're not going to get that flavor. So these are actually chicken thighs that we're using
Oh,
today.
very nice.
So that's
and I know
really
a lot of people, when you cook paella, they look at the pan and they say, oh my goodness, where do I get a pan?
hot too.
Yeah, so you can have a pan like this. This is obviously for paella.
Yeah, this is
But you don't necessarily
traditional.
have to use this type of pan, right?
You don't. I mean, if you know that you entertain a lot of groups, it's wonderful. You
So
can't
you could
beat
actually
it,
use
but
a flat
yes,
pan like this.
that would work really good.
But we wanted to show
No.
you not to use this one,
No.
because you don't want to use
Too
a
deep.
saucepan.
Yeah, it's too deep. You want wide bottom and just a few inches.
Okay, so we get rid of this saucepan. You don't want to mess with this saucepan. She's out. See ya.
No,
Bye.
but I sprung for the paella pan because
yeah.
we do it for cooking classes and we entertain a lot and it's wonderful. I
Very
love
cool.
it.
And plus, it looks cool.
Well,
I mean,
we
if you
also-
pull this thing out, you can tell I cooked paella one time.
Right. And we also use it for serving thing. It works
Yeah.
great, so.
Very cool. All right. So what's our first step that we've got to do, Lynn?
Well, the first thing we have to do is what they call bloom the saffron.
Awesome.
So you get a little bit of warm water that we have here.
Okay.
And if you would just put the saffron right in there,
Okay.
it's over
Where's
in that
our,
right
I was
there.
like, where'd
yeah.
you put it?
There it is. If you just put that in there,
All right.
and we'll just stir it up. And what this does, it actually, so you can see it changing color.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It kind of gives it that yellow
That
look.
will really enhance the flavor.
And how much water are we looking at right
That was
here?
about a half a cup.
Uh-huh.
So we'll just let that sit. And then what we need to do is brown the chicken.
All right. So what are we looking at? Medium heat,
You want a kind of a high heat, actually.
Okay.
I'd say medium high.
medium high?
We're just trying to brown this. And if you do that, just kind of
Okay, just
make
kinda
sure
move
it
it
browns.
around.
I'm going to get a platter because as this browns, we're going
Okay.
to take it off.
All right. Sounds good. I can handle that.
And I did salt and pepper it, but I think we're gonna just put a little extra pinch of salt on there.
And like you said, you keep the skin on that. Tell us the
Right.
reasoning behind that again.
The reasoning is there's a lot of flavor in
Yeah.
the skin. It's not gonna dry out. And after it's all cooked, if you do not want to eat the skin, just pull it off.
I know. You know what always happens to me? I always get guilty. I take the skin off my chicken, and then what I wind up doing is I look at the skin and I go, God, that looks so good, and then I just eat the skin, and I think to
Then
myself, why did I not just keep it on the chicken?
Right.
Maybe I'm weird, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that do
Yeah.
this.
I'll eat it if it's really, really crispy.
Just keep the skin on. Who cares? You know, it's about the taste.
Smells good already,
It
doesn't
does,
it?
yeah.
See how nice that's getting?
Smells
Go
so
ahead and throw in the chorizo and let that brown too.
I'm just gonna chuck them in.
Yeah,
I'm a guy.
that looks good. We're browning all that a little bit. Because it will keep cooking later as we put back in the pan.
And tell us what's in the chorizo, because that looks so good.
This is pork chorizo, and it's a Mexican-style sausage. Has a lot of the Mexican herbs in it. It has some peppers. It has cumin in it, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of paprika also. Really good, really good.
It smells good, I'll tell you what.
That looks-
Okay, our chicken is brown. We've got our meatballs ready to go, so we're ready to take them off the plate, right?
Yeah, yep.
All right, I can handle that.
I can help you if you like.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not about cooking the chicken all the way through,
No,
right?
no. You just want it nice and golden on the
Okay,
outside.
so you can see that golden. All right, so we're ready to throw our onions in.
Yep.
My favorite of all time.
Same thing. We'll let those brown a little bit and then add the garlic.
How long do we want to keep our onions in?
We just want to let them get a little translucent and soft. 5 minutes or so.
So 5 minutes?
Yeah, and see how we're getting up those nice bits. Oh, that's so good. So we'll just let that go a little bit.
Oh my goodness, the
Now-
aroma coming from that pan.
We'll let that cook just a bit, and then if you can add
Got
the
the wine.
wine, that's
Okay.
just a nice dry white wine.
And how much we got here?
That's
for
about a
folks?
cup there.
It's about a cup.
Oh yeah,
This is a nice white wine, right?
that's what I love. That the aroma.
Is that what? Do we always use white wine in our paella?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
never. You can't, like, if you substitute your red and go,
No.
oh my, I don't have white, so that's not gonna
I
work
would,
out.
you know, you could just even add water if you don't have
so,
a wine,
okay.
you know, because we are going to add this chicken stock, which is really rich. So if you would add, for me, please, the parsley. Let's add
All right, we got our parsley
little,
here.
and about half of that.
Just
We're
a little- about
yeah,
half?
yeah. We want to put in our parsley.
Okay.
Just stir that around. Let's add some of the rosemary, the dried, right
Oh,
there.
there we go.
Little dried rosemary, and about
How much you want?
you go and I'll.
You tell me what.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Yeah, and that was about a teaspoon. I'm trying
About
to
a
do
teaspoon?
Yeah,
Okay.
about a teaspoon. The same amount of the thyme.
All right, we got the thyme here.
Oh, the smell is so good. You want to add about a teaspoon to
Okay,
that.
so we're good right there.
Doesn't that smell good?
It does.
Oh,
These are the aroma is amazing. I
So
can't
we've
even
got
tell you.
that, and that looks really good. And we probably could put a pinch of the pepper flakes in.
All right,
and
where's
that's
the pepper?
right
Okay,
there.
my fault. Right there.
Yeah, I'd say that's enough. You know, the pepper flakes, that's something that if you like your food really spicy, you add a little bit more of that. If not, we'll just let that cook for a minute.
Okay, so we've got the onions and all our other ingredients. It smells so good.
Doesn't it?
So what do you want me to do at this point?
Well, let's, I have about 6 cups.
Okay.
So I'm going to pour that in.
Alrighty.
Oh,
We got our saffron mix that we showed you at
Right.
the beginning right here. This is the part that really separates and
right.
makes
That
the
gives,
paella special, right?
I can smell it already.
Oh, I know.
Isn't
This
that-
is amazing.
Now we can put all this back in the pan.
Okay, so
You would put
just
that
kind of
in?
gently
Yeah,
step
I'll-
back, Lynn.
Yeah. There we go. All that.
Oh,
And now we're going to add the rice.
Okay.
There's an interesting little
What are you
technique
I was
to
just
this.
so
to
engaged.
this, right.
Are you wanting me to do something? I'm attracted to this smell.
Smell, I know.
All right. So at this
It's
point,
like
we can take
perfume.
our rice and just
But
add
there
it
is
right
a
in?
little trick to this
Okay.
rice. Pour it in just like this. And
so like in a cross fashion.
Right. It has no religious
significance?
No. And I've researched this, and they say they do it like this so they can get a feel for how much rice they're putting in.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So I do it that way,
The
too.
smell, it smells like it's coming from El Dios himself.
I
mean,
know,
I'll tell you what, it does smell good.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe there is some religious significance to it.
That is so delicious. Now we want to put one sprig or two, a couple sprigs of this fresh rosemary.
And this is actually out of your garden.
This is out of the Cook With Us garden.
Very nice.
Might be enough right there, but since I have, we'll just place that in there.
And the cool thing about this dish is you can make a lot of it. It can last.
It's a party dish. It really is.
So it's either a party dish, or if you want to make a big meal for.
And you serve it right from the pan.
Oh,
so you just set it in the pan. You do some beautiful crusty bread, some sangria, which we're going to make.
Oh man, you know where I'm eating dinner tonight?
Yes, and cook with us.
You have an extra room, don't you, here somewhere? So I can just move in? Yeah.
So
Frank wouldn't like that.
So, the trick is not to stir this dish.
Oh.
So many,
What's the reasoning behind that?
You just let it soak up and cook. It's not like a jambalaya. It's not some of the other rice dishes that you stir.
You constantly stir.
You just kind of leave it.
And man, the flavor of this is, of all the things that we've made, this is one of the most flavorful dishes.
I think so.
The aroma just really shoots off the pan.
It does.
It really does. And it's not really all that complex.
It's not.
I mean, there's a few steps here, but it's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's having the freshest, the best ingredients. Now, as the rice cooks, we're going to see that this rice is going to absorb about maybe 2/3 of the way through. We'll take out our fresh mussels and our shrimp, and we'll just stick them in there, and it'll finish cooking.
So that kind of gives it that final flavor.
And at the very end, we'll turn the heat up to get those crispy bits that are at the bottom of the pan, and that's what everybody fights over. They love that. So
it's always that crispy part that everybody loves. I don't know what it is. Okay, so we are at the end of the road with our paella. Man, does it smell good, Lynn. It looks so good. We talked about the color, the flavor, the smell, the aroma in the house. So
I mean, it's so impressive.
I know.
If you put this out for your guests,
All right, so we've come to my favorite part. We've got our sangria.
Yeah.
We're ready to plate this stuff, right? And it's a simple dish. It really wasn't that hard. There's quite a few ingredients, but the overall key to it just seems to be, let it sit, let it, don't stir it, and just let those ingredients really come together.
Right. And I'm going to give you. We made this beautiful bread today, so I'm just gonna. Well, that's a little.
Just
big.
break it off.
Break it off and. This is rustic food.
I know,
so we'll just
really
each have a nice piece of rustic bread, nice crispy.
I'm gonna blow it a little bit because it is hot.
Yeah, tell me how it is. Oh, it looks so good.
Oh man,
good.
That was a shrimp. So tender.
Hot, but good. Rice is so tasty.
It's also good, Lena.
It is. We love it.
Good thing I had you here to help me make it. All right. We got this recipe on cookwithus.com as well as our website, HispanicFoodNetwork.com, and you can get links to both websites on our websites. Hey, this was awesome.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it.
And if you like Lynn, you can catch her over at the Kitchen Engine too. She gives classes out there with her husband Frank all the time. So we hope you enjoyed this dish.
Buen provecho.
Adios.
Adios.
We'll see you next time right here on In La Cocina.